now a bit of a up and down, people started and now they're stopping. What's your sense of all?
Well, I think it's too early to say, but there's no question there's been a huge shift. For example, I'm being invited to come into boardrooms to talk to people who 10 years ago, quite frankly, wouldn't have let me in the door. Something fundamental has shifted, and I think it's because the ecological problems that we face now are so severe, you can't deny it. Climate, of course, has loomed as a really big one. But I think the big thing that's happening now is companies are seeing an opportunity, a real opportunity. For example, if you become more energy efficient, you save money. So in many ways, I'm kind of going into the companies and going, listen, guys, you're supposed to be the smartest guys on the block. You're supposed to be the guys that are, go-getters. What took you so long? But it doesn't matter. I mean, the fact is, this is the time, and it's interesting that even with the economic meltdown, the reality is that the companies are still looking at ways that they can green themselves. And often it's the employees, when a company decides this is going to be their policy, appointed an environmental officer and so on, what you find is the employees are really energized by it. They feel proud that a company is trying to do this. And I think just in terms of morale of the company, it's been terrific.
Can you just do a very quick contrast Canada versus the U.S.? So things like the entrepreneurship environment, the ecosystem, government intervention, just a quick comparison between.
Are you talking about?
Are we ahead or behind?
Are you talking about the private sector or government?
I'm talking about the private sector, but government intervention in the private sector, funding of clean technology, the sort of stimulus they may be offering in this area. Are we way behind the U.S.? Are we lagging? Are we ahead?
We are so far behind. Even though we've had 8 terrible, terrible years under the Bush regime, the reality is that there were huge areas of renewable energy that were already moving very, very rapidly. And I think with the Obama regime now, you're going to see green technology. I mean, just look at the auto industry now. The United States government owns General Motors. And the reality, go to an auto show now, it's all about electric motors. If you see a movie like Who Killed the Electric Car, you realize that General Motors should have just been allowed to drop through the floor. Those jerks had it. They had the technology of the future, and they let it go by the board. What kind of heavy thinkers are these? They really have a huge opportunity, and they dropped the ball. And now everybody's running to catch up. It's very, very late. I mean, the Japanese have got a huge lead in terms of hybrid technology. The next one's, of course, going to be plug-ins and then the batteries. In terms of solar and wind, you're going to see the United States take off, but they're already way ahead of Canada. Quite frankly, Canada is lagging very, very far behind because we've had 3 years of a government, a federal government, that has done nothing, absolutely nothing, to encourage the opportunities that exist in renewable energy. But I want to go back. In 1973, you know what happened in 1973? Arab oil embargo. And it was a terrifying time. Remember people were lining up at the gas pumps. Oil had really been pulled back by the OPEC countries, and price of gas shot up, and it was very, very scary. What Canada did was that we set up a committee to look at the implications of this for Canada's future. And the committee was run by a woman named Ursula Franklin, one of Canada's distinguished scientists. In 1977, her report came back, and it was Canada as a conservative society. And what the document said was that Canada should become world leaders in being conservative of its resources, being much more energy efficient, and we should encourage wind, solar, renewable energy. Can you imagine if we had paid attention to that? And we would be world leaders. And in that, she said, this is an opportunity for Canada to lead.
And that was over 30 years.
1977. Now, Denmark and Germany, they paid attention to that. The Arab oil embargo was a terrifying thing, but it was a wake-up call. Germany and Denmark took it very seriously because they didn't have the kind of oil resources that Canada does. And guess what? Germany has now created 400,000 jobs in the renewable energy sector. They are the major exporter of wind technology. These countries went ahead and did what they had to do to meet the oil crisis, but out of it came huge economic opportunities. So Canada has just got to get going. We're way behind, but I saw it in the paper that South Korea is investing or thinking of investing billions for Ontario to start turning out wind technology and solar panels. Well, I think a large part of that is because Ontario has now passed this green energy plan, which is the first North American jurisdiction to impose the feed-in tariff, which is based on the German program that's been so successful at encouraging renewable energy. And I'd like to believe that because the Ontario government has passed this, then technology or companies are coming in now to say, whoa, this is an opportunity.
David, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for your support of the Delight Technology Green 15. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Can I just get a quick picture with you?